Hello everybody, John back again. In this video I'm going to continue working through my inbox, which has been quite full for a while now, and these records are going to be sort of 70s rock. The last video I made was 60s, this is more 70s, and yeah, some of these have been in the inbox so long that again I really have to rack my memory to remember where I got them from. This playing in the background is the first record I'm going to talk about today. It's a compilation album. A little bit loud, I'm going to turn it down, hang on. I first saw this for sale in a very expensive place here in Cardiff called the Pumping Station. It's sort of like an antiques mall place, and it was priced quite high. I thought I saw it and I was quite interested in it, but I didn't get it because I felt, well, I don't know how good it's going to be, and for that price I don't want to have to go for that. But fortunately, since I first saw it at that place, I've seen it in a few other places. And this is a record I bought, I believe, from a shop called the Record Shop here in Cardiff, and I think I paid a lot less than what I originally saw it sort of for in the Pumping Station. The Pumping Station, when I saw a copy of this, they went in 15 quid, and £15 is quite a lot of money to spend on a compilation, whereas I think I bought this for £2.50 for the same record in a different shop. So I'm glad I waited. And what's special about this, I suppose, is the fact that the very first track on it is that unusual Led Zeppelin song called Hey Hey What Can I Do. It was a track that appeared on their sort of remastered big reissue thing they did in the 90s, and yeah, I didn't know where that track came from. I just knew that it wasn't on any of their albums. So I think it was actually probably first released on this compilation. So otherwise on this compilation you've got stuff by Dr. John, Buffalo Springfield, Cactus, J. Giles Band, and Yes, and Loudon Wainwright, who was the last track. This is Gordon Haskell, this track. So it's quite an interesting compilation, but I got it really mainly for that Led Zeppelin song, which I'm not even going to bother trying to play here on this video because YouTube will not, wouldn't let me play that, I'm sure. It's an interesting compilation. Now, I first saw that, yeah, in the Pumping Station in Stockholm, and on that occasion I bought this instead. So this is a album by Canned Heat. It feels like I've already shown this record before, but I don't think I have. I've just checked through my last videos and I can't see that I have shown this. It's a gatefold sleeve. Canned Heat always did do really good covers. And I think this was released in 74. Inside sleeve. I like Canned Heat. I've always liked them. They kind of, they have that really sort of cool, sort of hook, kind of blues type of music that they play. And yeah, glad to have this in my collection. Like I said, it feels like I've had it in my videos before, but I don't think I have. It's just that it's been hanging around in my inbox for so long. That's Canned Heat. One More River to Cross. record that I picked up 2 years ago, and I had to look this one up on my database to see when I bought this. I bought this in June 2023 from Car Boot Sale. I paid a little bit more for this because it's, it's a classic album. The Bob Dylan the Band double live album. It's actually Dylan's first live release, called Before the Flood. And yeah, for being 1974, it's quite a late album, isn't it, for him to be releasing a live album in his career. But it's on record, it's the first one that he did release, although I think there had been other sort of live tracks and things like that released. And it's one of those live albums that rather than being, representative of a single occasion or a single concert, it's made up of individual tracks recorded at different concerts or at different nights. Yeah, it's quite good to have. I like it. It's been enjoying this. It's sort of that tracks from the from his peak, really. From the blonde on blonde type period. And yeah, great stuff. Here is an album by Robin Trower, Long Misty Days. I think it's his fourth solo album. But Robin Trower is Robin Trower, It's all what you'd expect. He has that kind of compression sound on his guitar, which I think takes a little bit of getting used to, but definitely an interesting record. And he has these kind of freaky looking record covers as well, I think. There you go. So this is the second album released by Stephen Stills under the band name Manassas. Honestly, I'm sure my dog waits until I'm talking before she starts scratching the ground. Sonny, please stop it. Right, so this is the second album released by Stephen Stills under the banner of Manassas. It wasn't necessarily a very successful record, and ultimately I understand it, sort of the production making of this led to the splitting of the band. I think, as I understand it, Stephen Stills was sort of in and out of Crosby, Stills and Nash reunions and so on and so forth, all whilst this was sort of happening, and his, obviously he was spreading himself too thin, I think, and there was, as far as I understand it, there was a lot of conflicts between various different band members and so on. So this is it's a sort of a countryish country rock record. Quite pleasant, slightly monotone, I would say, but it is what it is. This is a record I picked up from the Red Cross and got donated, and I was able to buy it quite well. So there you go.
Don't look now, don't heed the warning, it's really of no concern. Don't care the sound, not only just falling, anything left to burn. Isn't it about time? Isn't it about time we learn? Isn't it about time? Isn't it about time we learn? Our familiar family, the church was so far away. Lord baked into blackened soil. How many times?
The Jeff Beck group got the feeling, and I understand the actual release has a different name. This is the UK issue with this. I don't know why it has a slightly different cover and a slightly different name, but it does. There you go. Produced by Beck. One of those albums with Cozy Powell playing drums on it. I like it. It's kind of has a sort of a funkiness to it, I suppose you might say. I bought this off Discogs actually because, well, I just wanted to fill a hole in that I had in my Jeff Beck collection. Have a little listen to this, see what you think. This is Rory Gallagher, Deuce. Still trying to get to the bottom of Rory Gallagher. You know, a lot of people like to sort of lift him up like he's some great artist and fantastic guitarist. I don't dispute that he is, but I mean, for some reason he's always put in sort of comparison with Hendrix. Probably because they were sort of, you know, existing around the same time. They were both guitarists. I don't rate him as highly as many people do, but I keep on listening to him. And when his records pop up in the wild, and I see them in their original price, then I do grab them, because there must be so much more to him than what I've experienced so far. So I'm still searching for that sort of high point of his music. And this is a good record. This is a good record. Don't get me wrong. Deuce. So this is Little Feat. Feet Don't Fail Me Now. It's I think their 4th studio album. This is another one of those ones that I feel certain I've shown it before, but obviously I haven't. I've checked through my videos over the past year or so, and I can't see that I've shown this. I did show a different the Little Feat album. I think the one that came out after this. Anyway, this one is one that I picked up at a car boot sale, paid very little for it. And Little Feat, I always thought they were a bit like a sort of a yacht rock band, a bit like oh, my dogs, a bit like Steely Dan or something like that, but they're really not. I couldn't have been more wrong. They're more of a sort of southern country rock type band, I would say. So there's a track on here, a really interesting track on here, which it's a song that the band had. So I'll start off by saying, so the band was made up by a couple of guys that used to be in the Mothers of Invention, Frank Zappa, and they left, or something like that, and formed their own band. So that's where you've got Little Feat. There's a song on here that the band had right since sort of their early days of, you know, writing their first album, and they tried to record it on a few occasions, but sort of thrown in the towel when it proved to be too difficult. And the reason it's difficult is just because it's based on a 7/8 time signature, which is quite unusual, you know. Anyway, so the song in question was called something about when the shit hits the fan or something like that, and they tried a few times to record it and they didn't. They have included it on this album. They've changed the name, just called it The Fan rather than The Shit Hits the Fan, and they managed to do it as sort of a live in the studio recording, and it seemed to work. Oh, my dogs, they're driving me mad. Whoa, sorry about that. Anyway, so the song that I'm talking about was actually released at a later stage as a sort of a studio recorded track. It was released on a best of, or a compilation album with unusual tracks by Little Feat on it, and you can listen to that on YouTube. It makes for an interesting listen purely because of the interesting time that it's recorded in. So anyway, that's this. And finally, I'm going to show. I'm really happy to have found this. I bought this from the Antiques Mall in close by town to where I live, called the Cowbridge. So it's Rod Stewart's second solo album, I believe. An Old Raincoat Won't Ever Let You Down. You don't see these records very much, like Rod Stewart's early albums. You don't see, I mean, all the other ones, the latter ones, what they call Blondes Have More Fun and all this sort of stuff, they're everywhere. You know, you can't not see them in the wild. But for some reason, these early albums less so, and I often wonder why that is. Like, he didn't sell quite as many copies of it, but he still sold a lot of records. I mean, he's a very, very wealthy man. He sold so many records, and he made some really, really great music. This is an incredible album. I've always wanted to have this on vinyl, but yeah, prices that I see, it's often going for 30 or 40 quid, and this is a nice copy that I got at a good price, and very, very happy with it. I mean, I guess, it's in many ways, it's so much like music that he was making in the Faces. It's almost like sort of an annexation of the Faces just to make solo record for Rod Stewart, and yeah, I love those early records that he made. They're just so good, so good. Anyway, so that's all the records I'm going to show today in this video. Didn't have an awful lot to say about them. It's just that I've had them for so long now, and I just want to put them away. And before I do that, I just want to show you all to see what I've been collecting. Okay, everybody, thanks very much. I hope this was mildly interesting. Check out my next video. Bye.